All right, so I have my CPP rag joint. It should couple their gearbox to an I did it column, if I did my research right. Let's see what we got here. I don't think it's that end. Keep the set screw up top so I can reach it. Now, they're the same size, but they have a different spline count. Oh, wait. This is indexed. I didn't notice that. All right, so put that on the indexed spot. Right on. All right, I need a, what you call it? I need a hex key. Okay, I'll leave that loose in case I need the extra play. Yeah, that's good. Come on, get in there. Not sure that's in. No, it really isn't. Might be the set screw, but I thought I turned it out enough. Let's see if it helps. Not entirely. All right, I think that was it. That slip in all the way? Let me get a light. It's hard to say if that's seated. Yeah, I think it did. It looks like it. Okay. So, tighten the set screw. All right, that's good. Tighten this down just a little bit. All right. So that's it for under the hood. Well, for now. Still have to hook up transmission linkage. So we roughly want it to sit like so. All right. Ultimately, we'll be riding somewhere around there. So I don't have the proper brackets just yet. They're on order to bolt the top of the column up into the dash. And what I was saying before is I do have a nice Borgson, I think that's how you pronounce it, bottom mount. But the problem is these two nuts that bolt that into the car, that bolt the bottom mount into the car, these nuts are sitting lower than they need to be. I think they should be somewhere right around here, roughly. The problem is, as you can see, the firewall and the toe board. The firewall is original to the car, but the toe board and the rest of the floors are not. And they weren't put in very well. So instead of monkeying with that, like I said, I'm temporarily just going to use the rag joint to hold the bottom half of the mount, the bottom half of the column in place. I'll put a proper mount in up top. Right now I've just got zip ties. So when, I don't know, sometime this week, the top comes in, the top mount, I'll put that in. I'll index the column correctly. And I think this is a little too high. It's probably somewhere around there. I believe you want the blinker, turn signal lever to come straight out. And the blinker light, the hazards will be cocked down just a hair. So I think this is roughly where it needs to be. So this will hold me in place for now. I'm going to try to hook up the linkage for the transmission now. All right, so I'm going to have to re-index the shift linkage on the column. I don't know if I can do that while it's in. I think they need to go down a little bit. Yeah. But I don't think I can get an Allen key in here, can I? I can. It'd probably be a lot easier if I just took the column back out, but let's see if we can do it while it's still here. Alright, so I think what I need to do is re-index the column again. Bring the shifter lever back up where we want it, roughly. I think that's pretty good. Right about there. It should be in park. And I'll line up the arm with the shifter lever. Loosen it out a little bit. Work that back onto the shaft. Come on. There we go. All right, so I think these will line up, I think. I have to put a little bit of a bend in this shift lever. And it doesn't really seem to match up perfectly. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. And let me get the light. Where's my light? All right, so it seems no matter how I work that up or down, that there's going to be a gap on the back side here. So basically this ring is cocked this way a little too much, which means this lever probably needs to be bent this way just a hair in order for this to sit flush against the back of the column here. I think that's the issue. Yeah, because the column is all the way up. So I don't really have any play in the column to move it either way, you know, like so. So I really think it's the shift linkage that has to be bent. And I'm okay with that. So what I'll do is I'll mount this back one to the column where I think it needs to be, and then mess with the linkage afterwards. All right, so I'm going to try to bend the transmission shift rod to match the angle of the steering column. I don't know what you'd call it, mount, bolt, whatever, where the 2 points come together up here. So I've got the transmission in park, so that's with the lever all the way up. It's turbo 350, and I think I have, yeah, the shifter on the steering column is pretty much where I want it to, so that it's in park. So let's see what we can do here. So I want to mark where I want to put a bend. I think I want to put a bend right here. Let's see if that worked. Let me put a mark there. Yep, okay. And where that's marked, I just want to bend it forward, I don't know, only a few degrees. Doesn't look like it's going to take much. So, should I disconnect it from the, yeah, let's take it off the transmission. Try to bend it that way. Remember to put this back up into park and throw everything off. Okay, it's up all the way, so we're back in park. And there's my mark. All right, so I just dropped it in vise. Gave it a few whacks with a hammer. I don't know if that'll come across on the camera or not, but we got a few degrees worth of bend on it. So put it back on the transmission. Might work, let's see. Stick it up here. Okay. And onto the transmission. I don't think that was far enough. No. All right, I need a little bit more because I'm about half an inch shy on the transmission. So let's give it a little bit more. All right, a few more whacks with the hammer and the vise. Let's see where that puts us. That looks pretty good so far. See how it fits on the transmission. Okay. So the transmission's on. Probably could have made that bend a little bit lower than where it is, but I think we're okay. It's good and tight. Let's see what we got up here now. I mean, that may work for us. It's not perfect, but it might work. I guess I should be careful. I don't want to tighten it down so much that it doesn't rotate. Loosen that up. Yeah, I'll have to put like a steel bushing or something in there. There's nothing on that shaft here to prevent it from over tightening and squeezing the bushings so hard that this won't rotate. But for now, let's see how it works. All right, so column is pretty much where I want it, rotation-wise. And again, I don't have anything permanently mounting the column to the dash just yet. That should come in tomorrow, hopefully. So let's hold the column with my hand temporarily and try to shift. So it'd be reverse, neutral. I guess that'd be first, or was that drive? First. Can't go any lower. All right, so I've got some binding. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if I need a different shift lever at the bottom. So, let me get the camera, show you what I'm up against here. under dash cam. See if that stays put. All right, so this may show upside down, I'm not sure. I've got the rag joint, this guy here. And this is the shift lever coming off the transmission right here. And the lever's hitting the rag joint. So right now I'm in park. So park, reverse, I guess that would be 1, and then it hits. So the easy thing would be to cut that shaft, but I wonder, even if I do, if I'm still going to have enough room for that lever to clear. Well, I mean, I can cut it maybe half an inch off the top. But I guess what I'm saying is if I do that, will I still get enough rotation out of this lever here coming off the column to give me the other 2 shift points? All right, I need to see if I did it makes a lever for the for their steering column for the Turbo 350 transmission, or if it's sort of a universal thing or what the deal is. But park, it just seems like it's a little bit low to me. And granted, I can move it up a little bit more. Maybe that's what I should do. Because the column is roughly sitting where I want it to be. I think maybe if I move this up around another bolt hole on the end of the column, that should give me more travel. And because it'll be mounting higher, it should get closer to the end of the rod. Maybe that's what I need to do. Before I do that, I'll take a look around. I'll be back. So to simulate moving the this lever over another position on the bottom of the column, I think I can get a similar effect if I just move the this rod down and then make the camera fall. Where can I put the camera? How about on this side? Try that. All right, so I think if I can get some play in here without slicing my thumb. Okay. Come on. Give me some movement, damn it. A little bit more maybe. All right. So it can go to about there. That'd be about the limit. Let's see what that gives us. All right. So where are we now? So right now we're in park, reverse, neutral, let's say first, second, third, and ooh. All right, let's try that again. So here's what I have now. So this lever is a little bit higher now. If you were to look at it on a clock. So again, park. Reverse. Neutral. 1, 2, 3, and it should be locked. Yeah, I think we're locked. Right. Reverse, neutral. Go to reverse. Again to drive. 2, 3. I think that's what we want. All right. So I think that's good. You can see my shifter is way up in the air, and the turn signal the turn signal hold is way too low clock position. So this needs to come up to about here, which would move the shifter back down to around here. And I think if I move the shifter lever here down one series of holes, I think that'll give me what I need. So let's do that and see what happens. So I've got the column pretty much where I want it, clock position wise. The turn signal turn signal lever come out pretty much horizontally, like so, to the dash. And it puts the shift lever at, I don't know, 12, 1, 2, maybe 2, 230-ish. And underneath the dash, in the firewall, there's the shift lever. So what I did was, drop the light. So I moved the shift lever on the bottom of the column, rotated it one position counterclockwise. So now the shift lever to the transmission is almost maxed out on that bushing. So I think this is where I want it roughly, or pretty much where I want it. So then we can see right now it's in park. We're up all the way park. Down 1 is reverse, neutral, 1, 2, 3. And we're still good up top here. So that's in, I guess it would be 3rd gear. These are 3-speed transmissions, so yeah, 1, 2, and 3. And we're still got the turn signal lever hole pretty much horizontal. So I guess that would be, let me see, 3, 6, it'd be about the 9 o'clock position, I guess. And I'm good with that. 2, 1, neutral, reverse, park. Up all the way and everything's back to where it should be. So I think that'll do it. I did have to bend the rod here back towards the car just a little bit. I had a little too much of a bend on it. The damn light dropped again. How's that? the lever on the bottom of the shaft, steering column shaft, wasn't sitting flush with, oh, light just died. Wasn't sitting flush with the bottom of the column when I put the bolts back in. So by bending the lever rod, or the rod off of the transmission back just a hair, that gave me what I needed. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I still need to get the mount up here for the top part of the steering column to where it attaches to the dash. That's coming in hopefully tomorrow, if not Friday. Today's Wednesday. So I'm happy with that for now. Everything's connected. It's clocked, oriented correctly, I think. What else? Hopefully that'll tuck up nicely. I really don't want to see this sticking out. Well, I think that's it for now, really. This is just a short one. I just wanted to get this shift mechanism set up so that while I'm in the car and I try to start it for the first time, hopefully tomorrow, I will have full control of the transmission and the ignition key right within hand's reach, because this baby don't have brakes yet. So I don't want to risk starting the motor, it being in gear or falling into gear and taking off, and I can't stop. So I'll chock the wheels. I've got control of the transmission now from within the car. I want the ignition, so I think I'm good for now. All right, so if I don't get my bracket for the steering column mount, this guy here, and then there's a bracket to hold the lower half of the gauge cluster on. And what else? What else? What else? What else? Got the column upper rubber mount kit and a slab of rubber column to dash. So I think what I'm going to do is, well, first things first, let's get rid of these zip ties. So right now I'm just hanging on the rag joint, which is not ideal. And I just dropped my damn light again. Zip ties are gone. Try to put my damn light back again. And it's probably just going to fall again. Let's try there. All right. So, how do I want to do this? I really don't like all this weight sitting on that rag joint, but maybe I can work around it. And, well, no, I'll put that in later. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. Should probably bring the camera up. Grab this. There's a wasp flying around my head. Not a big fan of bugs. Parent situation. Not ideal. Anyway. So here's the new dash mount bushing. I guess you call it that. So this resides between the dashboard. There's a bracket here welded onto the bottom of the dash. Comes up and over the steering column back down to the other side. Anyway, this mounts to the brackets that bolt back to the firewall. And in between this bracket and the bracket behind it that it bolts to is a couple of bushings. I figured, since I'm under here, I might as well replace these bushings, because I'll probably forget later. And look, if they get painted over later, you know, when it comes time to paint the dash or whatever it is I end up doing with the dash, hey, no big deal. It's out of sight. There'll be a cover that goes over what, pretty much all of this anyway, so no big deal. Now I need to build up the washers. There is a sleeve as well, and I should probably put the sleeve inside the bushing for the bottom half. Alright. And it looks like it goes through a good bit, and all this will go through up into what's on the car. I've centered the hole, so with any luck this should just bolt right in. Let's try that. I mean, this really shouldn't be so complicated. Not complicated, but difficult. I mean, you really got to compress and twist at the same time, and you're kind of fighting the elasticity of this bushing and the one behind it. Let me try maybe a wrench. Will this fit in here? Kind of. Alright, so on the back of the nut, up in the top, let's put this in here like so. Get it up in there. And I'm squeezing at the same time, trying to get it to line up. Did that grab? I don't think it grabbed. Nah, still hasn't grabbed yet. I mean, this is ridiculous. All right, that's in. All right, now I assume I can just tighten that down until it bottoms out. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a wasp or something buzzing around in the fluorescent lights in here. All right, so on to the other one. I'll slide that over until it's pretty much centered. And I'm not even close yet. Alright, looks like we're good. Alright. I believe that sleeve in the middle acts as a crush point to keep you from over tightening these so that they don't crush the washers, I mean the rubber bushings. Alright. I'm happy with that. It was a lot more challenging than it needed to be. Alright, so this is an interesting situation. Get an alignment problem here. So the gauge cluster seriously gets in the way of the column here. Now, I'm no expert. This is my first 57, so it feels like this tab, and there's some wear marks on it, would slip underneath here to a degree, but not that far. I mean, that's way off. I mean, we're off by almost 3 inches. Also, side note, this looks like a good fit up here on the right. But as we move over to the left, this gap gets much larger. So I don't know what's going on here. But at any rate, allergies, losing my voice here. I'm going to try to loosen up the rag joint and see how much space I can get up top here. If I pull the column towards the driver, we'll see what happens there.